Have you ever wondered if your dog knows that he exists? Most people assume the answer is no, that behind those eyes there is just instinct, just biology. No real awareness. Nobody is truly home. But in the last decade, researchers found something inside your dog's brain that nobody expected. Something that makes that assumption very difficult to hold on to. What if behind those eyes there is something looking back, something aware, something that knows on some level that he is here, that he exists? Or what if he does not know at all? What if you are the only creature in that room who carries that knowledge? That question used to be unanswerable. It is not anymore. And what science has found about your dog's inner world will change the way you look at him tonight. Your dog watches you, not because he wants something, not because he heard a noise. Just quietly, from across the room, without being asked, he watches. When you are sad, he comes closer. When you're tense, his body shifts. When you cry, he does not stay where he is. Most people explain this as instinct, as training, as something dogs simply do. But researchers started asking a different question. If your dog is simply reacting to the world around him, why does he respond differently to your sadness than your frustration? Why does he cross the room when you are hurting and stay back when you need space? That is not stimulus and response. That is reading you. And if he can read you, something is happening inside his brain that we spent most of human history refusing to take seriously. The question is not just whether your dog feels. The question is whether he knows that he does. In 2014, a researcher named Attila Andix did something nobody had done before. He trained dogs to lie completely still inside an MRI scanner, awake, unsedated, voluntarily. If you have never been inside one, an MRI is loud, confined, and disorienting. Most adults need medication to tolerate it. These dogs walked in on their own. Then Andix played them sounds, human voices, dog voices, laughter, crying, distress. And he watched what lit up inside their brains. Your dog has a dedicated brain region that exists for one purpose only: processing voices, not commands, not sounds, voices. It sits in the same location as yours. The part that recognizes there is a person behind the words. When your dog heard happiness, one region activated. When he heard sadness, a different region responded, the same way yours does right now. Your dog is not just hearing you, he's working out what you mean, whether you're okay, whether you need him. For decades, one test was used to measure self-awareness in animals: the mirror test. A mark is placed on an animal's body while he sleeps, somewhere he can only see in a mirror. Then he is placed in front of one and observed. Most animals see a stranger. They bark, posture, and walk away confused. Dogs fail this test, and for years that failure was treated as evidence. Your dog is not self-aware. He does not know who he is. But here is what that conclusion got completely wrong. Dogs do not live in a visual world. They live in a scent world. Asking your dog to recognize himself in a mirror is like asking you to identify yourself from a recording of your own heartbeat. The test was not revealing something true about your dog. It was revealing something limited about the test. In 2017, researcher Alexandra Horowitz gave dogs a scent version of the same experiment. Their own scent, slightly altered, a foreign scent, and a clean version. Dogs spent significantly more time investigating the altered version of their own smell. They noticed something about themselves had changed. By their own rules, in their own sensory world, your dog knows exactly who he is. But knowing who you are is different from knowing that you are. A year after Andix published his findings, a team in Austria went further. They showed dogs photographs, just the top half of a stranger's face, people your dog had never met, and they asked him to identify which faces showed happiness and which showed anger. He did it, not by recognizing someone familiar, not by memorizing a specific expression. Your dog had built an internal model of what human emotions look like, a working map he could apply to anyone. Think about what that means. Right now, inside your dog's mind, there is a representation of you. Not just your face, your emotional states. The way you look when something is wrong before you have said a single word. He is not just responding to you in the moment. He is carrying you with him. All day, even when you are not in the room. And here is the question science still cannot fully answer. Is there something it feels like to be your dog? Philosophers call this qualia, the raw experience of existing, the specific feeling of being you, right now, in this moment. We can measure what your dog's brain does. We cannot get inside what he feels. But here is something worth sitting with. You cannot prove your inner life to anyone either. You assume you are conscious. You trust that the people around you have inner lives like yours. You give them existence because you cannot prove it, and you believe them anyway. Your dog cannot tell you he exists. But in 2012, a group of neuroscientists signed what became known as the Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness. Their conclusion was this: the brain structures that produce conscious experience in humans are not unique to humans. Mammals and birds likely possess the same neural foundations for conscious states. In plain terms, the hardware that runs your inner life probably runs in his too. The lights, they argued, are very likely on. So does your dog know he exists? Honestly, we cannot say for certain. But here is what we do know. He has a brain region built specifically to recognize your voice. He carries a working model of your emotions even when you are not there. He can read your sadness from your laughter the same way another person can. And he crosses a room to find someone no one else could reach. He has a brain region built specifically to recognize your voice. He carries a working model of your emotions inside his head at all times. He can distinguish your sadness from your laughter the same way another person can. And when he crosses a room quietly and rests his head on your knee for no reason you can name, he is not reacting randomly. He read something in you. He made a decision. He came. Your dog may never be able to tell you he exists, but every single day, in the only language he has, he tells you that you do. Every time he watches you from across the room. Every time he finds you without being called. Every time he stays. He cannot say the words, but he has been answering the question this whole time.